I don't mean this question to sound exactly like it's going to sound, but forget where the games are being televised. How fragile is the Sabres' popularity? Are the fans ready to pick up right where they left off and get into this season like it's about the Stanley Cup? That kind of level of enthusiasm. I mean, we got there last year.
Yeah.
The sky seemed the limit for them last year, and it's still a super sad thing to think about that they lost. Yesterday on the golf course, we were talking about it, like how they dominated that seventh game, and just not to revisit that, but I wonder, if we go a month into the season and they're fine, but no illusions of last year's team are really evident. What happens? How fragile is it?
I think it's definitely not slow start proof, right? I think if they were to struggle out of the box, first 10 games, 3-5-2 or something.
Oof.
I could see the fan base, even though we know where they were and then December and then how hot they got and everything that happened last year. I feel like we're still not. We haven't had the second good year yet. There's a little bit like Allen's coming out party in 19, or maybe 20 if you prefer 20. 20 was when he really ascended to I'm a monster, rock star, animal killer in this sport, and you better look out. Well, okay, but you better do it more than 1 year, right? I mean, C.J. Stroud looked great as a rookie and has kind of tanked. That tanked is maybe strong, but whatever. It's not unanimous that put a ring on that guy. You got to keep him forever. So with the Sabres, I feel it's a little bit like that. Show me that last year was real by, not going, what did I say, 3-5-2 or something. Don't get off to a sloppy, slow start and, get us a bunch of quotes after games about how we thought it was going to be easy and we need to learn how to dig in again. We didn't earn anything last year, yada, yada, yada.
That's all coming.
I can already hear all of that. And hopefully it's only when the first, bump in the road comes, not once the season actually starts and we're already in a bump or in a ditch. I think it's fragile. I would say, yes, I think it's fragile. There hasn't been, we haven't sat for long enough with them bona fide being good. And the offseason has not been inspiring. I mean, Florida's added. Tampa, is at least treading water with where they were. I just think it's going to be harder. Florida especially. Everybody else that was in the mix will probably still be in the mix, maybe minus Ottawa. Because Ottawa lost Brady Tkachuk, and they really didn't do anything either to replace him substantively, I would say. So
Toronto's pushing a little.
Toronto's pushing. They've got McKenna. Really, Toronto, to me, depends on how – if McKenna can be oh, my God, that's the rookie of the year. And Bobrovsky doesn't look shot like he mostly looked last year in front of a compromised Florida team. I think Toronto could be live. I think Toronto – mostly what they did, aside from McKenna and Radish is a significant add for them too, was add speed to their bottom group of forwards, which should maybe help them defend better if they buy in. So I think Toronto should be better. And I think I'm sort of standing still. I think the Sabres mostly stood still. If not they lost two significant pieces. And as much as I like the Zellweger idea to replace Byram, that's still speculative.
Yep.
That's a dart throw. I like the skill set. It's a bet I'd make. I like that they made the bet, but that doesn't mean you're going to win it. I lose lots of bets that I like when I make them.
All of them.
Very rarely do I make a bet I don't like. Yeah, right. I like that. So I think all of that combined I think they need to get off, I think to avoid the old wounds opening up, I think they need to get off to I'm not saying they need to go 10-0 or something out of the box, but they just need to look the part.
One thing that will maybe not make this, if that happens, so apparent, is whatever they got out of the season they just had in terms of ticket sales. Because when it's down, like it's been for many years, you can it's all you need to see is the building for their games.
Mm-hmm.
And you see just sections of almost entirely empty seats, and that says it all. Because we know, and we just relearned what it is when it's good. I mean, that just would not happen. So the building tells you a certain story, and I mean, I don't think there's any level of good where there won't be weeknight early season games that you see a lot of rows of seats. I mean, that's just, I think, inevitable for them, mostly.
I think probably, but I'm just getting back up and running here, but I thought in the last couple of days since I've been home, I saw, like, thanks, we're sold out of season tickets. Like, I think they reached their number I don't think there are any more season tickets available. So that's a good sign for that. That means your walk-up, I don't know what they left, held back for single game or even 10 packs or whatever else they're going to be doing ticket-wise. The fact that they are at a season ticket threshold that I assume internally they set, like, this is the number we want to sell, and they sold them. I feel like the building's going to be less fragile than it has been.
Well, that's what I'm getting to. Like, I think they're protected in terms of the image of the building and what kind of quick impressions people might make about where the fans are with them. They're probably pretty well protected, certainly a lot better so than before because of last year. So what is it really that we're trying to figure out? Like, how fragile is it? I mean, are people going to complain that they're only 500 a quarter of the way through the season if that's what it is? And last year will just always be, it'll get really annoying because last year somebody's always going to point out that they were dead in December,
right?
It seemed, and you know what
and
happened.
Look at what happened, right?
And that's just not going to happen all the time,
right?
I mean, if it happens twice, that's kind of amazing. So, yeah, I'm glad for this national TV exposure. I mean, that's kind of cool. We always love that around here, for whatever it's worth.
I'll especially like it if they know how to broadcast the game so we can hear the sound effectively.
Well,
that would be nice. ESPN, I'm talking to you.
You're talking about, you're asking a lot.
Yes, I guess so.
Okay. Let's get a call in on it. Here's Ian with us. Hi, Ian.
Hey, fellas. I think it was maybe on the morning show or yesterday when you guys weren't in for the afternoon show, but they were talking about how our offseason for the Sabres was mostly two major departures. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to me because that clearly means that they're counting on the depth. And I live closer to Rochester. My family has season tickets to the Emirates. And so we've seen the three guys, Oslin and Helenus and Kulik, across the past few years dominate at the AHL level. And it's been really fun to watch them produce, over the course of last year, really, and a little bit 2 years ago for Kulik. But I think that's an interesting context to put the survivability of a slow start into, because it's kind of like, well, you just kind of laid there and didn't do anything on one hand. But then on the other hand, these guys are really good. And our roster was so congested last year with like Greenway and, some of those guys that moved on. So anyway, that was all I had.
Okay.
Well, I think, look, anything can work. The Helenus maybe will be rookie of the year. I don't know, dream big, right? Or maybe a contender for it. And so maybe all of that gets filled in by the young guys. What I think you can do whatever that you want with this. I happen to think that they went into the offseason wanting to do really big things to the roster. Trade-wise, Hellebuck, whatever it was. A Trocheck, not that was a big thing, but I think that was a piece that they were going to turn to if they made the big move that they never made. And that can bother you enough to feel like, because they're going to, of course, tell you that this is the plan. We've got these guys. We want to give them room to flower and grow and all this. And like, okay, good. I hope it works. And if it does, we'll never look back. But I have a hard time shaking the belief and I really believe it. It's not just I believe what I've been told. They had designs on big stuff. And to not be able to pull it off, it feels like the kids are the fallback. And again, that doesn't mean that won't work, but I feel like the plan was bigger and it just didn't come together. And if that bothers you, I think you have every right to be bothered by it. It's the little voice chirping in the back of my head is like, did they do what they wanted to do? I don't think they did what they wanted to do.
There's the matter of what they wanted to do, and then there's just the simple matter of considering Sabres' history is credibility. And that's probably relevant to players on the team. Like that's a lot of what we talked about in there back in 2 months ago. It's like what the players with as successful as they were might want to see the Sabres kind of for once act like they were really going for it. I mean, a couple of times along the way they've talked like it, and it ends up just kind of being embarrassing, and this is one where there is maybe some level of that so far. Now it's not even to the preseason yet, but they're always, maybe they don't think so. Maybe they think it's impossible. But I think in reality, people are always looking for more seriousness from the Sabres. Mm-hmm. And they fell into an amazing year. And how do they want to follow up on that? Well, the fingers are crossed that their young talent is good enough for that. So there's always like a credibility thing. Back when Pagula showed up and Ted Black, and they were talking about hockey heaven and all this, I think they might have been naive. I think they thought they could go attract. That was the mission statement is we're going to go get, the Brad Richards.
This is never happening again, where our co-captains are going to walk away from us in the same summer.
And they were not successful by the premise and then on the ice. I mean, you don't have to do that to win, but there's a lot to be said for the big move. This year, there wasn't free agent stuff that I think almost anybody cared about, of real importance.
Tuck was the best free agent on the market, and he was their guy, and they didn't want to do that, so they let him go, and he wasn't a co-captain, but he certainly was an assistant, and he was a respected veteran leader that walked out the door and is being replaced by guys who can't grow beards.
Well, he could grow a beard.
Yes.
Tuck.
He gets out of bed with a beard.
Not everybody on that team, were experts at that. But right? I mean, they really took a major step, and I think as we get near it coming back, you just kind of have to hope that they can keep that going. And it probably doesn't have to be 109 points in first place either.
No, that's right. I think there's room in there, I think, for, maybe the majority of, somewhat reasonable Sabres fans to go like, last year was it was a dream ride. Every putt went in, right? Like just everything went, I hit a tree, but it bounced back into the fairway. Like that kind of, sorry for the golf metaphors. I played a lot of golf while I was away. And, fine. As long as you just at least still look like you're the same caliber team. The point total sags to under 100, but you're still contending for a playoff spot. I think the fan base will be mostly energized by that. That'll be enough to they're good. But I think if it's rocky to start, I think a lot. Oh, good idea letting Alex Tuck go. Oh, Alsland's hurt again. Oh, whatever. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to call my shot on an injury, but what I'm saying. Things are going to happen, and if enough negative things happen, circling back to the summer is going to be very easy to do and not necessarily out of line to do, because there are similarities. We talked about it when it started happening. Does their reputation, how much does it hurt them? How much does it keep the fan base from buying all the way in after such a great year? And without something significant, prove, again, it's a sport, so anything you do could go wrong. But they're betting on kids backfilling. And a team that's contending usually does not do that.
No, they're trying to have it both ways.
Yeah.
And maybe they will get lucky.
Maybe it'll work, because the kids do look promising. I can't deny that.
Bounce one off the tree and just on Not even in the hole, but on the green.
Yeah, right. Makeable distance.
My cart got hit yesterday by the guys behind us. They hit into us.
You also hit your own cart.
I hit my own cart.
That happened.
That's right. And I know why. Because I hit a poor drive, and the guys were all like, oh, no, we were talking, hit another one, which I hate. So under duress, I'm like, I just rushed through another one, and I completely botched that. But the guys behind us are friends of ours.
Yes, they did hit your car.
They hit into us.
Yeah.
And I stopped and got out and yelled back, we're okay. I don't even know if they heard me or just what they thought happened.
I don't think they even knew. Because Jeremy was a part of it from our morning show, was a part of that group, and we rode out there together. We were in Lockport. And I mentioned on the way home, like, you know, somebody in your group hit Mike and Joe's cart.
Yeah, we got hit into.
I said, oh, that was Ross. So I think I know exactly the hole that had happened. I think it was Ross. So I don't know.
So that's out there now.
I guess so, yes, it is.
We'll talk to Chris Mack today. The Steelers are in town for the preseason finale tomorrow. Chris is a longtime Pittsburgh media guy. Does some national stuff too. I know him a little bit through the betting space back in the BetQL days a little bit. So we'll talk to him. And Sal joins us at 5, Steelers and Bills tomorrow. Get into that some when we come back. 803-0550 for your calls. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, WGR.